It's mid-November 2025, and winter is arriving early, much earlier and more intense than usual. Instead of the usual Thanksgiving travel chatter, we're tracking a rare major disruption of the stratospheric polar vortex, something that typically waits until January or February. This early weakening is unleashing Arctic air across much of the United States, setting the stage for a dramatic weather shift. The polar vortex, often misunderstood, is buckling far ahead of schedule, sending frigid air south in a way rarely seen before the holidays. This isn't just a cold snap, it's a wholesale displacement of Arctic air, with the potential for significant early-season snowfall in places that usually haven't even seen their first frost. High-altitude winds are slowing, letting the vortex wobble and spill cold air deep into the mid-latitudes. For millions, autumn will end abruptly. Expect freezing temperatures, howling winds, and the first major snow of the season. The models are in strong agreement. The next few weeks will be active and disruptive. From the Great Lakes to the Northeast, and even parts of the Northwest, winter is making a dramatic entrance. Prepare for travel disruptions, dangerous wind chills, and heavy snow. Now's the time to check your emergency kits, test your furnace, and find your snow shovels. Winter isn't just coming, it's about to take center stage. The dominoes are falling, and the atmosphere is primed for a memorable winter preview. Get ready. This is not a forecast to take lightly. What exactly is the polar vortex? It's a massive swirl of low pressure and frigid air high above the North Pole, usually kept in check by a strong jet stream. When the vortex is stable, the US sees milder winters, but when it weakens, as it is now, cold air escapes southward. This isn't a storm you see on the ground. It's the master puppeteer, setting the stage for major winter outbreaks. The current disruption is happening unusually early, thanks to energy from lower atmosphere weather systems disrupting the stratosphere, a process called sudden stratospheric warming. This slows the vortex, letting it wobble and split, sending lobes of Arctic air into North America. The result? The jet stream becomes wavy, with deep troughs that funnel cold air far south. That's why you can have record cold in Chicago while Alaska stays mild. The weakened polar vortex is the main driver behind these wild temperature swings. This early season event has meteorologists on high alert for a prolonged period of cold and snow. The consequences are direct: amplified jet stream, deep cold, and the potential for extreme winter weather. It's not just about cold, it's about how the entire weather pattern shifts. The stage is set for a winter that could be both early and intense. The polar vortex is the key player in this unfolding story. The polar vortex's southward push won't hit everyone equally. The Midwest is in the bullseye. Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Illinois will see a rapid plunge from autumn to midwinter in days. Gusty winds will make it feel even colder, and the Great Lakes and Northeast are next in line. Cities like Buffalo, Cleveland, and Boston will see temperatures drop well below freezing, priming the region for snow. Meanwhile, the West tells a different story. A ridge of high pressure will keep California and the Southwest dry and warm. While the East digs out from snow, Los Angeles and Phoenix could see sunshine and mild temperatures. The Pacific Northwest, however, sits on the edge. Storms diverted by the ridge will target Washington and Oregon. Here, cold air meets Pacific moisture, raising the risk of significant early-season snow, even at lower elevations. Seattle and Portland, usually rainy, could see rare disruptive snow events. The Northwest becomes a battleground between mild Pacific air and invading Arctic cold. The result, a sharp weather divide across the country. This is a classic case of the jet stream creating winners and losers in the winter weather lottery. The Arctic outbreak will ignite the lake-effect snow machine across the Great Lakes. Cold, dry air rushing over the still warm lakes creates intense, narrow snowbands that can dump feet of snow in localized areas. Wind direction is key. Northwesterly winds will target the classic snow belts downwind of Lakes Erie and Ontario. Buffalo and the Tug Hill Plateau could see snowfall rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour, with totals measured in feet. The duration matters. This cold isn't leaving quickly, so the snow machine could run for days, leading to staggering accumulations. Residents in these zones should prepare for whiteouts, impossible travel, and rapid snow buildup. This isn't a general snowstorm, it's a targeted, high-impact event. Your exact location will determine whether you get a dusting or a crippling blizzard. The Great Lakes are ground zero for this early winter assault. Be ready for a snow event that could be historic for November. The West Coast and Pacific Northwest will experience a dramatic weather split. California and the Southwest will bask under a persistent ridge of high pressure. Expect sunshine, warmth, and dry conditions. This is bad news for drought concerns, as the wet season's usual storms are blocked. Meanwhile, the Pacific Northwest sits on the active side of the jet stream, opening the door for storms to slam into Washington and Oregon. Here, Pacific moisture collides with Arctic air, creating a potent setup for heavy mountain snow and even lowland snow. Seattle and Portland could see rare, disruptive snow events if temperatures dip just enough. The Cascades are in for a phenomenal start to ski season, with multiple feet of snow building a deep, early base. The contrast is stark, mild and dry to the south, cold and stormy to the north. The Interstate 5 corridor could see significant travel disruptions if snow materializes. The West is a tale of two winters, one tranquil, one turbulent. Two big climate drivers are shaping this pattern: La Niña and the Arctic Oscillation. La Niña cools the tropical Pacific, nudging the jet stream north and favoring cold, stormy weather for the northern U.S. This background pattern primes the atmosphere for Arctic outbreaks and a wavy jet stream. The Arctic Oscillation, or AO, measures pressure differences between the Arctic and mid-latitudes. When the AO turns negative, the polar vortex weakens and cold air spills south. Right now we're seeing a strong negative AO, opening the floodgates for Arctic air. La Niña sets the stage, the negative AO pulls the trigger. Together they create the perfect setup for an early, intense winter blast. It's a rare alignment of climate signals, and the result is a winter preview that's both severe and widespread. Let's talk numbers. In the Great Lakes, Buffalo could see 1 to 3 feet of lake-effect snow, with travel grinding to a halt. Cleveland's eastern suburbs may get over a foot, while the city itself sees several inches. In the Northeast, New York and Boston could see early-season snow, 2 to 4 inches possible, with biting cold and wind. Out west, Seattle and Portland are on the edge. If cold air and Pacific moisture align, 3 to 6 inches of snow could fall, causing major disruptions. Ski resorts in both regions will be big winners, with feet of new snow building a strong base. These aren't just mountain snows. Urban centers are in the crosshairs. The difference between rain and a paralyzing snowstorm could be just a degree or two. Millions need to prepare for a disruptive winter event. From lake-effect blizzards to rare northwest snow, this pattern promises a memorable start to winter. The stage is set for widespread, challenging conditions. Remember, weather forecasting is about probabilities, not certainties. The forecast is based on the best data available now, but small changes in the upper atmosphere can shift snow bands or the rain-snow line dramatically. Treat this as a heads-up, not gospel. The cold is coming, but exact snowfall totals will vary. In lake-effect zones, a slight wind shift can mean the difference between 2 feet of snow and none. For Seattle or Portland, a degree or two warmer could turn a snowstorm into rain. Stay informed with updates from the National Weather Service and trusted meteorologists. Pay attention to winter storm watches and warnings. They're issued to give you time to prepare. Don't rely on an old forecast. Conditions can change quickly. Use this time to get ready. Prep your home, vehicle, and family. Have a plan for power outages or travel disruptions. Check for updates daily. An informed public is a prepared public. Staying alert is the key to navigating this winter safely. To sum up, a rare, early weakening of the polar vortex, driven by a negative Arctic oscillation and La Niña, is sending Arctic air deep into the U.S. This isn't a minor cold snap, it's a pattern-defining event with dangerous cold and heavy snow for millions. The Midwest, Great Lakes and Northeast face an Arctic invasion, with historic lake-effect snow possible. The Pacific Northwest could see rare lowland snow, while California and the Southwest stay mild and dry. Now is the time to act. Check your emergency supplies, winterize your home and car, and have a safety plan. Don't wait for the snow to start. Prepare now. Winter is arriving ahead of schedule and with a vengeance. The signals are clear. Intense, early season cold, and snow are nearly certain for much of the country. Stay tuned to updates, follow local officials, and make smart decisions. Be prepared, be safe, and get ready. This winter will be one to remember. Winter is here.